Hello my friends, Ahsoka the Geek here, and for this review we're taking a look at the new McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse, DC the New 52, Red Robin. So I am a big Tim Drake fan, and this is like his, I think, third costume at this point in the timeline. Maybe second, no, I think it's the third one. And it's, of course, based on his New 52 outfit, which I honestly will say is probably my least favorite costume for Tim Drake, which I'll get into in a few moments. But before that, let's just take a look at him in the packaging. So here he is in the normal McFarlane packaging. I got this guy from GameStop, but I think he's hitting Target and other stores and sites as well. Anyways, let's get into it. Let's take a look at him outside of the packaging. All right, my friends, so here's a look at Tim Drake, Red Robin, outside of the packaging. So before I get into the figure, as I mentioned in the previous segment, I am not a huge fan of this costume. The reason being is the prior Red Robin costume prior to this, and I should have dug out that figure, it was basically the Kingdom Come Robin costume, and it had a hood on it, and that's what Tim Drake sported as Red Robin for a while. And then they did the New 52 reboot, which I love, and they gave him this costume. And the problem with this costume, and I'm missing it in my display back there, is that it looks like a freaking Hawkman Jr. That's what this costume looks like to me. It does not look like a Robin costume. It really looks like Hawkman Jr. Like, this could be Hawkman sidekick. Even the belt across the chest, the logo is like a hawk. And the wings are definitely very Hawkman-esque. I mean, Robin's never had real wings, like he's, this looks like a Hawkman figure, like, again, like a Hawkman sidekick. So those are my complaints about the costume itself. I just not a fan of the design. It's very far from the Robin design we're used to. I liked the original Red Robin costume design that Tim wore originally. I much rather prefer the latest Red Robin costume that he's wearing. Even though I love that one, that was almost a little too traditional. But I still love that one way more than this one. But yeah, this was just a big misfire for me. So yeah, that's just speaking to the design of the figure. The design of the costume. And that's a different thing than the figure itself. Now, as far as the figure itself, beautiful figure. This is a fantastic figure and a fantastic rendition of the Red Robin costume. I mean, look at the head sculpt. Head sculpt is great. Really captures the sort of New 52 era for Tim Drake. His hair kind of did look like that, I think, in the comic books. The costume, I think, is very accurate to what we saw in the comic as well. Even though I think the logo was painted in the comics. I don't know if it's supposed to be painted. I could probably look at the box art and see. Doesn't look like it because the one on the box isn't painted either. Sorry, got out of frame there. Gosh, this is not going well today, but there it is. So yeah, I think the costume is fantastic. I like the wings as well. They're really easy to move. They're attached, so it works really nicely. So really awesome, I think, interpretation of the Red Robin costume. Comes with this staff, his bow, whatever you want to call it. It's a little too thick in my opinion. It could be a little bit thinner, but not by much. It's solid. But it's a nice looking staff. Let's get rid of it for a minute. But yeah, I think other than that, I think it's a great rendition of this costume. Even though I'm not a fan of the costume, I think they hit all the check boxes as far as accuracy goes. I think it looks pretty cool. I like the little Red Robin symbol on the belt as well. Articulation, standard, McFarlane fare here. So it's pretty nicely articulated. You can do some really fun poses. Good range of motion with the neck. You can make some fun wing poses with him, flying like he's Hawkman. Anyways, so yeah, I think it's a cool figure. It looks great. Again, I hope you guys are a fan of this design more than I am, because I think if you are and you don't have the DC Direct, the DC Collectibles version, then this will be a great figure for you, because I think that was probably a little bit pricier, or at least harder to get, since this been a few years now, and I'll show you in comparison in a few moments. But there he is. There is Red Robin. So yeah, let's go ahead and do some comparisons now so you can see how he looks next to some other figures. All right, so here is Red Robin next to Red Robin. So the one on the left is from McFarlane Toys. The one on the right is from DC Collectibles / DC Direct, circa 2000 something. It's a long time ago. This figure's pretty old. But yeah, as you can see, there's some differences and a lot of similarities, though. Basically, the costume is the same. I like that, how, looking at the DC Direct one or DC Collectibles one, actually the McFarlane is pretty true to the source material, because the costumes almost look identical down to like the arm patches and where the belts are on the shoulders, and I'm sorry, on the shoulders, on the arms and across the chest. So everything's pretty much very similar. Even the hairstyles they went for are pretty accurate. I think I like the red more on the DC Direct one than I do on the McFarlane one. I just like this. It's more red. This is more of a burgundy, in my opinion. I also like the gold, I think, a little bit more on the DC Direct one. But I do actually like the face sculpt a little bit more on McFarlane. I think the DC Collectibles one, very youthful looking head sculpt. This one's a little bit older than the McFarlane one, but I think I like the McFarlane head sculpt a little bit better. Definitely better articulation with the McFarlane figure, of course. The DC Collectibles one, it is just one piece that you can't really do much with. It doesn't open up, so you really can't do any posing with the DC Collectibles Red Robin. So McFarlane beats that by a mile, since you can actually extend the wings like so. So, I mean, listen, I do like the wings now that I've been playing with it for a few minutes. That is cool. But I think overall I still don't care for this costume design. Anyways, let's move on from these two. Let me show you how the new McFarlane Red Robin compares with some Batman figures from McFarlane. Alright, so here is the new Red Robin alongside the Three Jokers Batman, the latest Damian Wayne Robin, and the OG McFarlane Toys Nightwing. So scale-wise, he scales pretty nicely with these other figures. He's slightly shorter than Nightwing, but taller than Damian. Of course, Damian's got the biggest head out of all of these, and they all look great next to Batman. So I think they scale really nicely together. But there he is, a close-up with Damian. Damian just got a big head. I love this Damian figure, but definitely he's got a bigger head. So he looks great next to them. So there you go. So he looks great next to the Bat family. I'm glad that they scaled him appropriately, as he is still shorter than the Nightwing, but taller than Damian. So yeah, he looks really good next to this Three Jokers Batman. This is like my go-to Batman right now. It's like just a perfect Batman, and I just really dig him. So let's bring in Nightwing there for a little closer shot. See if he can stand. There he is. And then there, of course, is Damian a little bit closer there. So yeah, it looks great. It looks really nice. It will display really well on the shelf. But there it is, folks. There's my review of the Tim Drake Red Robin from McFarlane Toys. Again, I got this guy from GameStop. GameStop has been fantastic lately in getting stuff early, or at least, at a decent time versus like Amazon and other places I pre-order from. So highly recommend GameStop. And that's about it. As always, thank you so much for watching. Always appreciate your support and spending a few minutes watching my really all over the place reviews. But that's about it. Hope you're doing well, and take care.